The views expressed on the Nova Society are those of the panelists and guests and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the Phoenix Research Institute or any institution which any panel member is associated. Welcome back to the Nova Society, a space where dialogue deepens understanding and civic responsibility comes to life. I'm Dr. Mark Bound, joined by our regular panel, Dr. Scott Gershwer and Dr. Brooklyn Ann Weldon. Together, we'll unpack the stories that matter most, exploring the headlines, the history, and the big ideas shaping today's conversations. Let's dive in and hear what the panel has for us today.
And we have a second question then from Candace from Butte in Montana. And Candace continues, I know Mark is Catholic. How does he in the panel? How do he in the panel see the fight Trump seems to have taken up with the Pope, Pope Leo? What about the Jesus so-called doctor post on Truth Social? Yeah. Oh, I'm a doctor. I thought I was a doctor. Yeah. Okay.
There's just somebody who thinks his followers are imbeciles, right?
Yeah. I see.
Believe it or not, this part here was almost the most prevalent thing we got in the mailbag this time around. They were just clamoring over that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Candace continues, I see in the news that even his most MAGA of morons of MAGA morons, are not happy with this. Yeah, I don't blame them. I mean, I don't see how anybody could say, well, obviously this is a medical doctor. No medical doctor.
No,
I mean,
we could just dismiss that.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously supposed to be.
Well, unless you're a medical
Jesus
doctor
Christ.
in, like, I don't know, the 2nd century.
Maybe, or the guy,
or in a Harry Potter book.
The
Exactly.
pox,
Yeah. You got that. Yeah.
one of those pox doctors without the bird beak, and
Or a
you've
medical
got the robe.
doctor, a medical doctor in Star Wars. That was a Jedi.
Something like that.
I could see that. I'm surprised you didn't say he was a Jedi. There is a Jedi,
Well,
and the gold light is the Force.
Yeah, I mean, it's so obvious. I mean, and how, I mean, and then to say that the Pope is soft on crime and he's not tough. He's with the liberal, the left-wing radical liberal lunatics or whatever it is. And he, all this stuff. I mean, this is the Pope. He's not the leader of a country. And the whole thing is, this is not how anybody discusses the leader of the second largest or whatever religion on the planet, to say that the Pope is soft on crime. The Pope does not discuss crime. The Pope discusses religion. He's not a politician. I mean, this is, to me, the ramblings of someone who really needs to be institutionalized at this point. And what I find fascinating, honestly, to me, in one sense, the way Trump is being treated is, I think, verges on elder abuse. Nobody cares enough about him to put him where he can get proper mental health care. They're allowing him to continue on in this manner and not get the psychiatric drugs and the support that he very clearly desperately needs. In the meantime, with the rest of us or the entire world is being put at risk, and Trump is being allowed to humiliate himself, and blaspheme, and saying praise to Abida Allah or whatever it was on what was it, Easter Sunday? I mean, it's horrific.
So to me, the funniest thing about this whole thing is Caroline Leavitt supposedly, I should probably have checked this out, said that President Trump's Truth Social post depicting him as Jesus was a doctored image.
Yeah. Oh Lord. they'll say anything.
No shit.
Yeah,
really?
Vance said, "Oh, this is a joke. He likes to joke.
This is a joke.
He likes to do this directly and speak directly to the people."
And Vance has an upcoming book coming out that talks about his transformation to the Catholic Church.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So that'll be interesting. I think the worst thing about either one of these. First of all, I'm a huge supporter of Pope Leo. I mean, I would not consider myself the best Catholic on the face of the earth, but
I also
really
support Pope Leo, by the way, and I'm not.
I think Pope Leo is he's just a decent human being. Right now he is the most popular American in the world. Whether Trump likes it or not. He was not trying to dictate foreign policy. What he was basically was dictating the morality as it relates to the Catholic religion. So to say that he's, weak on crime and this, that, I don't like him. I like his brother better because his brother's all MAGA and he gets it. It's like, come on, you're an idiot. I think the thing that really bothered me the other day, and it was a luncheon, and a friend of mine was talking to me about this, about what I thought of it. And I really wasn't saying a lot of anything in between, the salad and the main course. But a person sitting next to me said, who was also a Catholic, said, I don't pay attention to it. I've got too much going on in my life to be putting up with minutia like this. I just don't pay attention to it. And, a lot of people would say, yeah, that's maybe the way to go. But you know what? For some reason, I'm sitting there thinking, you know what? You're part of the problem. This should piss you off. I don't care how much is going on in your life. The fact is that this is a matter of decency. And as a Roman Catholic, who supposedly is a really good practicing Catholic, this should piss you off. It is not minutia. And you cannot dismiss this stuff. And I think in a lot of cases, that's what we've done. I think it's stupid. Other than that, I don't think anything about it. No. At some point in time, you've got to stand up and you've got to say, enough's enough. Here's the line. This far, no farther. And if you can't do that, then I don't know. All I pay attention to is the stock market first thing in the morning, and how my customers are doing. That's the only thing that's what I pay attention to. I don't pay attention to anything else. Well, I got news for you, son. There's a lot going out there in that world can affect all of that. And if you're not paying attention to it, and if the only thing you're worried about is your stock prices and where they sit, you're part of the problem. You are definitely part of the problem. And that was it with that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And to talk about, we're going to annihilate an entire civilization, and I don't like this person, I like the other guy because he's MAGA, he's my guy, and this other one. I mean, we've gone, as we were saying before, like with the death of Robert Mueller. Robert Mueller, not Richard Mueller, Robert. He died. Good. The morality and the decency and the ethical standard, the humanity. I mean, we as being represented by this man are lower than a snake's belly. As I forget who it was when I was growing up, that was one of their favorite sayings. I mean, we're down, so low that we're below where all the sewer pipes are buried. It's unfathomable to me that the people, are not standing up in a body and demanding that this man be removed. I mean, Jamie Raskin at least is starting to make some sort of movement toward the 25th Amendment and creating a body in Congress that will demand 25th Amendment tests and battery tests and cognitive tests and so on and so forth, because clearly there's something wrong with this man. People just don't behave this way. and it's such a pleasure to listen to other world leaders speak because they sound like normal people. They can finish a sentence and they don't talk about revenge and who they don't like, and their policies sound logical, and they discuss the future, and they're not talking about wiping out entire civilizations and, well, we're going to bomb, and then we're going to block, and we're going to do this, and and then we're going to deport all these people. I mean, it's just, it goes on and on and on and on, and we're allowing it to go on and on and on and on.
Yeah, but even the point really comes down to it is even the Chinese don't pick on the Pope. Even the Russians don't pick on the Pope.
No one should.
This goes back to medieval times.
This
When
is
King
above.
Henry VIII would disagree with the Pope.
Yep.
And, the fact is that we're supposedly, according to MAGA, we're a Christian nation. According to MAGA.
Yeah, sure.
And you're taking on the damn Pope? Are you insane? And here's the other thing I take out of this. The guy that ran around crying and begging for a Nobel Peace Prize is complaining about the pontiff talking peace.
Yeah. And I think J.D.
come on.
Vance was also talking about religion on some, I didn't listen to it, but it was explaining. I don't know if Trump was also saying how the Pope really didn't understand religion or some idiotic nonsense.
I did like his comment when they said, he posted on True Social. He goes, "Isn't that ironic? The name, enough said."
Yes.
I mean,
yeah, it's
like,
I like him.
It's lie central.
He used to act in a reality TV show. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think that comes down to that one thing that Scott brought up in an earlier podcast. Snarky works.
Snarky works.
And you know what? The Pope is from Chicago. He knows snarky. He could be, maybe if he was from Brooklyn, he'd be even better at it. I don't know, but he knows snarky and he knows how to be snarky. And I like him. I'm all for him.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah, I am as well. And as a human being and in the role, and he is maintaining his role, and the fact that he's American and he is he's not becoming engaged in the battle, the what Trump would like to do any more than Mark Carney is. They're just turning their backs on him, and they're above where Trump is, and Trump doesn't like that because he can't control what people do or say, and he wants everybody, of course, to genuflect and bow and scrape and run
let's
around.
Remember, when the pontiff was selected by the cardinals, one of Trump's first comments was, "Oh, an American, that's good. Probably was selected because of me."
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And he still says so. That the only reason Pope Leo was selected was because he, this is all because of him, and the guy should be grateful and all this kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
And they threatened him as well. And I believe there have been death threats, which is just unfathomable to me. Again, because, we're talking about two entirely different worlds. The Pope has nothing to do with, the Vatican, these are, as you know, these are separate. The Pope does what he does, and the President of the United States supposedly works for the people of the United States, not pads his own office with tons of gold and fills his own pockets till they overflow, and make sure his family is well healed and so forth.
Trump may be getting into Henry VIII territory here. Create his own American Catholic Church.
He only needs 3 more wives.
That's true.
Yeah,
he only needs 3 more wives, and he'll be right there. So yeah, maybe he is. All right.
There's the French situation where, right, the not Avignon, what was it now, where they actually killed the Pope.
I think a lot
because
of
they
popes
just
have been killed.
Yeah, a lot of
they
popes have been
like
killed, and some of them rightfully so. I mean, the
well,
Pope in the ancient times has not always been the best guy, but there was a thing floated out that I did hear
yeah.
that that there's consideration of creating what the Catholics would know as an anti-pope, an
I don't know
opposition
what
pope.
that is. I've not heard of this. What is this now?
Well, there's been anti-popes before. So the
What's
Pope
this?
gets in there, and somebody didn't like it, and they made a new Pope, and so there was two different popes.
Oh,
Never
I'm
works out well.
not familiar with this. Some in
Okay.
MAGA apparently are calling Trump the Antichrist, which I thought was
He is.
interesting.
He is.
Yes. Okay.
He is.
All right.
All right.
And on that high
And
note,
on that high note, we're done.
Yes. We will see you all next time. Thank you so much to all our listeners.
And that's all the time we have for today's episode. The Nova Society is a production of Nova Society Media, a division of the Phoenix Research Institute. We want to thank our production partners, Buzzsprout, who hosts the Nova Society, Audacity, our editing team, Apple Podcasts, the largest source of podcast and music online, Spotify, the most popular platform for the Nova Society, and iHeartRadio, your destination for all things music and podcasting. The Nova Society is available on all of these and other quality platforms listed in our description. And most importantly, we want to thank you, our listeners. Without your support, the Nova Society could not be possible. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing on the platform of your choice. It's easy, it's free, and helps our channel grow. For questions or comments, you can reach us at nova.society.podcast@gmail.com. So on behalf of Dr. Brooklyn Ann Weldon, Dr. Scott Gershworth, and all of our production partners here at the Nova Society, I'm Dr. Mark Bound. Remember, the true power of society is knowledge. Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you again next time.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening!